Hello, I'm Dr. Randall, and we're here at Core IQ where we learn about the stuff we all need to know, but we don't necessarily learn in school. And I'm here with JC Cavitt, who is an expert in education. We're here to talk about one of the most important topics of all of Core IQ, and that's study tips. Kids are in school, and a lot of parents go back to school, and there's a right way to do it, and there's a wrong way to do it, and we're here to tackle that issue with study tips. Tell us about yourself and tell us why this topic is important.
Absolutely. So I'm currently a grad student at Cal State Long Beach, and it feels like I'm a lifelong learner. I've been in school for a very, very long time. And as you mentioned, I did graduate with honors, multiple honors actually, when I graduated with my undergrad degree. And so a huge part of that success is because I actually took time to do what we're talking about today, and that's studying. There is a method to the madness when it comes to school and getting good grades. And the key factor is, how do we study?
Now, I notice in this graphic, you have it kind of divided between gold, platinum, and diamond. Let's talk about those categories. What does that mean?
I think for me, it's a simple way to kind of, if you just want to improve your grades, the gold is kind of where you're at. It's some basic steps that if you implement these steps in your academic career, grades should go up. You know? And if let's say that I'm just interested in maybe maintaining maybe a C average, the gold would get you there. But if you're not satisfied with kind of middle of the road, when you go to the platinum and the diamond, it strategically gets more and more intense to make sure that you really can shoot for that A.
Okay, so what I love about this is that not necessarily everybody wants to be, a straight A student. Not everybody wants to, can, whatever. We start with kind of the basic thing. Let's start off with the gold. What's that kind of look like?
So the gold is for every student. Whether it's elementary or whether you're at the college level. And so it's some basic steps that go within the goal. The very first thing I would think is just show up to class.
Yeah.
If you're a student and you're trying to make good grades, you being there is important.
Yeah.
So kind of just show up to class, and in that showing up, be prepared. So if you know that there's books, there's materials, pencils, papers, notepads, make sure that you have all of the necessary material that you need once you're there to be able to be fully present and take some notes.
So show up.
Show up is
pretty
important.
Basic. Okay.
Next is just be prepared. Take some notes.
Yeah.
So and note taking, there's I feel like a method to note taking to where you don't have to write everything word for word. Come up with the system that works for you. If it's 2 or 3 words that can trigger a thought to a broader topic, that's all you need for in class. Because what I found is that if you're focusing on word for word, your brain is not listening or taking in new information while you're trying to get that down on your tablet or your pad.
Yeah. Okay. And note taking, I notice, really improves retention.
Absolutely.
Big time. Huge.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So it's interesting because there was a study that came out for the school I went to, there was professors that actually, they didn't allow for students to take notes via typing.
Okay.
And so they actually said, because of the data proved that the retention, when you actually write it out, you retain more.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So show up, take notes. What's our next step?
Make time for homework. If your class has homework, you have to do it. That is one of the biggest things that impact kids' grades that I work with. They show up to class. They come prepared. They're smart kids. They have homework. They fail to turn any homework in, and they're C and D, F students because they don't turn in homework. Okay. So if there is homework to do it. The homework is there to reinforce the classroom learning.
Okay, got it. So we show up, we take some notes, we do the homework, we turn it in, and what's our next step?
Eliminate distractions.
Okay.
So in that doing the homework process, if you're at home, I know some of my students, they can concentrate really well with loud music blaring and earbuds in to where I can hear it. I'm not a student that studies that way. It's really distracting when I have a lot of loud noises going on. So I try to go to a part of the house to where I don't have a lot of things vying for my attention. And it really helps me focus on what it is I need to focus on. A good place to study is the library. Somewhere it's quiet, not a lot of distractions. There's other people in that space trying to accomplish the same thing that you're trying to accomplish.
Got it. Okay. And what's our last step here?
Take brain breaks.
Okay.
Like cramming is not the best policy. Like I've tried and I failed miserably at trying to cram for an exam. And so let's say you're dedicating an hour to studying. Within that hour, break it up. Say I'm gonna work for 15 minutes. Give myself a 5-minute break. Whatever that 5-minute break, whether it's going to the bathroom, getting something to eat, or just taking a walk around wherever you are, give yourself a break. This also, there's research that shows that you're able to retain more when you get small bits of information. Give yourself a break, give your brain a chance to breathe and absorb the information and come back to it.
These are the steps, the basic steps. Every student out there should do these things.
Absolutely. You
Okay.
do those, grades will improve.
Okay, so we're gold, but we want to step it up. We want to go from C's to maybe getting some B's, and that's the platinum level. Let's talk about that.
So platinum level, you're going to do everything that's in the gold section, but then some. So for starters, when it comes to our note taking, right after class, you're going to make sure that you make time immediately. So those little jottings that you put down to trigger a thought, this is where you review your notes and actually elaborate more on those little jottings so you could have a complete thought of your own about that topic.
What's the next one?
Make a study plan. So it's great to whatever the professor or the teacher was presenting in class, you kind of know the overall theme, but the study plan should actually kind of, it's an extra layer and going to do a little bit more research on what wasn't said or what the professor didn't cover during that time.
Well, anything else about make a study plan?
Yeah, so one of the key things with the study plan is that you pick a specific time every day or every other day and you stick to it. Whether you have homework or not, that's a dedicated, allotted time for you to study something.
And then our next one?
Make a goals and to-do list. When you're at that collegiate level and grad school level, there's a ton of reading, a ton of homework. And so you have to learn how to prioritize what papers, what assignments are due, when are they due. And if you can prioritize them, that's a help. Make sure that you can list it out and make it into smaller chunks. You know, don't try to cram all of your homework into one homework session.
Okay, great stuff. What's our next one?
So set up your study area. And so again, this is kind of taking it back to the gold section. And in that area, make sure you have like a snack there where you don't have to get up for long periods of time. Try to make sure that that area, that space that you're in has everything that you need so that you can kind of stay and just take your brain breaks.
And that's your place and it's organized. You have a good light and all that
Yes.
kind of thing. So the last one here is space out studying. What's that all about?
So space out studying is not trying to cram a whole bunch of information into a short period of time. So,
Okay. So don't cram. Don't procrastinate. Wait till the last minute.
Absolutely.
Okay. So this is awesome. We got the C student stuff here. Then we go the B. Now I know you're an A student. If I remember, I know you're too home. I think you got pretty much straight A's. Okay. And we're gonna go for the diamonds. So the JC method. Let's hear the full thing.
The first key I would say is know your notes. Know them to the point where you can kind of deliver that information anywhere without kind of reciting or looking at it on a tablet or your notepad. When you know your notes, it's here. You actually know the information well enough to teach it to someone else. So that's the first thing, is to know the information, right? Not from reading it. The second thing that reinforces learning is when you teach it to someone else. So form a study group. Form a study group to where you can kind of get up and step into the role of a teacher or a professor and just deliver that information verbally to someone else. Sometimes you could just even be your family or friends and say, hey, I just want to tell you something. If you studied it well enough, you should be able to communicate that information to someone else who is a novice.
Okay, that's a real transition. So we really know our notes. We teach other people. What's our next thing?
The next one is just to practice. It's just a practice. And practicing is whether if you're looking at essay, if you have this information, you have it here. One of the difficult problems that I have as a student is I have the information here, but I feel the greatest of writers. So in the practice is how do I get what's here and put it down on paper?
Okay, love it. And what's next?
Take care of yourself. Give yourself a break. A's are great. It's great to get an A+, but know that it's not the end of the world. So be kind, be gentle to yourself. Do the best job that you possibly can.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. I wish I'd known just a long time ago. That's the whole point of Core IQ. Thank you, JC.
Thank you for
and
having
thanks
me.
for watching. Make sure you really study this. Look at the, print out the PDF, like it, share it, talk about it, and let's keep building our Core IQ. See you next time.